All right, I'm gonna just start off the exact same way as I did last time because I'm torturing everyone and being like, oh, I should probably go with the welcome to coffee with HicCup. How's it going? I should probably start with that. It's the second one. So, how are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I woke up like an hour ago, but I'm feeling pretty good. Everything's sort of popping off, and I've been looking forward to this. So I'm feeling pretty great.
I should probably clarify as well. This is Duncan, and I'm gonna. This is where the first question I said about a moment ago. Is it H to annoy all of the grammar people everywhere?
Yeah, so it is H. It's like because my name's Duncan Hendry, so first initial H, and pretty much what I've done is I've spelt the letter H. It's,
H.
I don't know
No,
why.
I'm kidding.
I don't know why it became a thing, but I just spelt the letter H. So,
I was like, I was reading it. I was like, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. It's gonna be H, isn't it? And it's just like,
Duncan
No, you're
H.
right.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we're on a roll with that one. So yeah, this is Duncan. Duncan H. Well, Duncan H27 on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. You've managed to claim the domain. Nice job on
Yeah, I
absolute
got.
claim the domain.
Thankfully, not many people are called Duncan H, so I think we're good.
Just about managed to claim the domain.
Yeah.
Then sorry, I guess I'm gonna start off with some simple cameras go. And I guess I'm gonna start off with a random question, but like I'm gonna go with what led you to playing the accordion of all things?
The accordion of all things. So my dad started playing the accordion when he was like probably like 16. So my dad's played it, my brother played it, and then it just sort of got passed down to me. Now that I'm like into songwriting, I used to busk on the high street, and I used to play with like Kaylee bands and that, and play Scottish music as you should do on an accordion. But when I started busking on the high street, I realized modern music gets me more money. So I started playing like Guns N' Roses and Taylor Swift and all that, and then I started writing my own songs on it, and I was like, I really wish I didn't play the accordion now. I wish I played like the guitar or something, but it does the job. So
It gives you a nice, unique, well, a very unique element to your music, and it combines really well with your voice as well. From what I've noticed, I've just started playing the track Girls in the background as well, so going
I
through.
love it.
I should note that all the songs which I'm playing are all drafts, so this is all, from what I believe, from what you sent me, is all drafts and kind of not fully developed songs yet, kind of thing. Well, they're developed songs, but
Yeah, so the accordion's not going to feature in all of the songs. It's more going to be like, instead of having guitar solos, I'm going to have accordion solos, because as much as I wish I played the guitar or something, I do love the sound of it, and I think it makes me stand out a lot. I don't want to kind of forget my roots, so I'm going to have them in some of the songs as like little solos, but the vast majority of it will be like guitars and pianos and violins and shit in the background.
nice. That's really cool. I've been listening as like when I first opened up a track, because I didn't was from what I could tell, Stephen linked you to me when I posted about doing this, so thank you for joining as well. Then you sent across the tracks, and I was like, holy fuck, I don't think I've said my opinion on your music. I avoided saying it the entire time. It's been 3 weeks, and I haven't said it once the entire time. I've just let you know that I think you're talented, and that's it. I haven't said anything beyond that. I fucking love your music, man. That's it, like, legitimately
you teased
incredible.
it a little bit, saying like, if this is what the non-produced versions are like, then you can't wait for the actual one. And I was like, right, sound, we're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Solid
Cannot
compliment
wait.
to you.
These are non-produced. I can't. The actual ones. But hello to everyone in chat. I hope you're having a wonderful day as well. If you have any questions for Duncan, feel free to pop them in the chat, and I'll try and like pass them forwards as well.
I've seen some of my folks coming in, so hello to everybody. Thank you.
Duncan, quiet. One sec. Let me up that then. Is that a bit? Can you speak for a second?
Yeah, I'm usually really loud, so
Right,
it's a compliment that I'm getting called quiet.
You should be a bit louder now, I think.
Sweet.
So thank you for letting me know, Stephen. I appreciate that. And right, so I guess that leads to the second question. But I suppose I was actually going to continue from the first one. So it's not less. So playing the accordion is much less traditionally pop, I guess, than what's currently available. But it works really well in the way that you've done it. You've seemed to have created these songs which are don't know how to describe them. They're very modern, very up-tempo, yet also deep, quite dark, heavy hitting.
Yeah.
Like the songs sort of feel immense, and it's just your voice and an accordion. And some, I don't know how you've done it, but they just feel huge. And is there any way that you've managed to do that, or is it just pure just combination of?
I don't know. I think like I always get told off by my mum because when I sing, I proper belt. I'm really loud. It's not like you get some singers that are kind of like quiet and reserved, whereas when I sing, like the key that I sing in is actually a bit of a push for me. Like most singers would try and sing in a key that's like perfect for
everyone
you.
downs tune slightly, or
Yeah. Whereas if anything, I kind of overstretch myself. If I don't do like warm ups and stretches and all that before I sing, I'll get like halfway through a song and my throat will just go because it's all too much. But yeah, like people always ask me like what genre the music is, and I really don't know how to answer it because I mean the accordion doesn't help. A lot of people think like, oh, it's a traditional pop thing, and I'm like, no, the accordion's not going to be the album. I'm like, please leave that behind. But like when it comes to the genre of it, I kind of pride myself in the fact that I think the 7 songs I've got in the album, they're all quite different from each other. Like there's kind of slower ones, there's faster ones, there's rap ones, but
I was trying to keep up, like on the rap ones. I was trying to keep up with your singing whilst reading, and I can't read as quickly as you can sing. I literally can't read as quickly as you can sing. Absolutely crazy. I think it's in DCI, potentially.
The last bit of DCI,
yeah, which is playing
the last
now.
bit of DCI took me so long to teach myself. Like the first time that I managed to sing it off by heart, I was so hyped. Like I was in the car and I was recording a Snapchat video to my mate, and I did it the whole way through. And at the end of it, I was like, yes!
It's such a bouncy song. It's got this like flow to it, and I don't know if it's easy to describe. It's got like a and it's just so. There's a technical term for that, but my music theory is it's a GCSE.
I failed music in school, so you're fine.
Nailed it. Let's go.
I've got an album coming out and I failed GCSE music.
Yeah, absolutely understandable. But like I've noticed you, like the hoodie looks so freaking good, man.
Oh, I love it. It's got like big on the back as well. I absolutely love it. I'm so pleased with it. I may have to get one. I'm really pleased with the stuff.
Then I guess I'll go on to the next question for you. The next one I've got written down anyway would be, how do you go about writing songs? Do you have like a specific process to it, or does it just sort of hit you in the spur of a moment, or do you notice something and be like, this is a thing, and then you just go like, bam, or do you just hear it?
I think I've got a weird one. Like I can go so long without writing a song because just nothing comes to me. Like I can't really make myself sit down and go, right, I'm going to write a song today. There's so many songs that I've got like written on my phone or stuff, and what I do is like if I do actually get in the mood to write a song, I'll kind of like, if I think of a first verse in the shower or something, I'll then force myself to try and write the rest of the song, and then I'll leave it a while and then I'll come back to it to see if it's as good as I thought it was. Half the time it's not. But what I usually end up doing is like mixing other songs with other songs. So like the Killing Joke, for example, like the first 2 little bits of the Killing Joke and the basis of the chorus, that was actually from a song that I wrote about one of my ex-girlfriends about 5 years ago. And then I just sort of took it and then put it into Killing Joke thinking this works really, really well. It's quite rare for me to be able to sit down and go, right, I'm going to write a song today. Sometimes I'll just sort of be mumbling along with myself. Like She, for example, I wrote in the shower. Like, I was just in the shower one day and this tune just sort of came to my head and I was like, oh, this is kind of sick, you know? I was like, I think the main one that I kind of forced myself to do was Thunder, because if you actually look through Thunder, so the original version of Thunder, the chorus was actually Thunder by the Prodigy, so they're like, I hear thunder, but there's no rain. Then obviously I had to change it for the album because copyright.
Yeah.
And what I did when I wrote that song was, if you look through the lyrics, there's actually loads of Prodigy references throughout it. Like, I tried to force myself to put as many Prodigy references as I could. Like, the start of the fourth verse is there's different ways that the Thunder could write "smack your bitch up" with a single strike, and it's got little stuff like that. So I don't really have much of a process. I just kind of like I said to you when I sent you the stuff for the album. Ironically, the album ends in a happier way of you've got the pickup and then she and then One Simple Picture, so it's all kind of upbeat and like life is good. But ironically, the pickup and One Simple Picture were written the longest ago out of all of them. Like they were written like 5-6 years ago, and the more depressing stuff was written in the last couple of years. So it's like
Life's
this seven to
I'm kidding.
yeah, exactly. Like the album makes it seem like life's gone down and then up, whereas realistically, my life is literally a roller coaster. Like 1 month I'll be like way down here, the next month I'll be like, oh my god, life is amazing.
Absolutely. It's Sorry, Popsy. I assume that something you said got bumped out there.
That's one of my friends, Siobhan. I don't know what she's posted.
Popsy. Yeah. So on Thunder, noticed that like you've got, as you were saying, Prodigy references. I only noticed a few as I'm going. I don't know that much Prodigy. I'm a bit of a letdown on that front. I know their biggest songs like Firestarter, etc. Like all of that stuff. Yeah, so so I guess on the Killing Floor, the Killing Joke, sorry, the Killing Floor game, film, Killing Joke, I noticed that around 2:53 on the draft, you say "I'm not the poison," and in the way you say "I'm" is so, it's like a growl almost. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a
it's never me. I'm not the poison.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the exact one. And it's there's a moment in it where like it just sort of catches me off. It caught me off guard because it's like not everyone's willing to go a bit out and add that kind of. I want to call it raw emotion to it, but I don't know if that's quite the term. Was it just a spur of the moment, or were you just like, this might sound good, let's try it out, or did you just sort of go like, I don't know, like.
I think it was when I first finished the song and I started singing it, it was just sort of raw emotion at first, because the Killing Joke is like to me it's the most personal song to me. For like I really like the Killing Joke because I think it's so open to interpretation. I think a lot of people can look at it in different ways, whereas to me, obviously, there's certain lines that like I'm like, yeah, that means this to me. And at the time when I wrote it, I was going through loads and loads of shit. So it was a really, really raw song. It was written when I was at one of my like darkest periods of my life. So I kind of like keeping that sort of raw because it like every single time I don't do it on purpose. It's a matter of every time that I sing that song, I kind of start like my brain just flashbacks to that time a year ago. But I think I've kind of fiddled about with doing the roar in songs before, and like I really like kind of doing it. I try and stand out as much as I can. So it just sort of came naturally to me when I did the line, and I just thought, yeah, that sounds sick. I'm just going to keep doing that. Because
understandably so. Like it kind of. No, it adds such a huge element to the sound. Like I was saying, your music sounds immense with just you and the accordion earlier, and that definitely adds to that almost environment you've created with your songs. I guess that leads on too. I've noticed that a lot of your music is very modern in terms of what the topics are. It's very topical. Like a few things like I'll go through use of drugs, rejection, OnlyFans, and are these personal life experiences, or are they more something you've noticed from watching?
So the drink and the drugs are, and the rejections definitely are. The OnlyFans, like I said in the email I sent you, she's the song that I'm most proud of because she's the first song I've ever written that genuinely has nothing to do with me. It was just there's a couple of mates that I have that are females that I kind of think like when I was writing the song I was kind of thinking of them, But I didn't write it about anyone in particular. I didn't write it about an experience that I've had or anything like that. It was just a song that came to me, and that's why I'm so proud of it, because I remember sending it to a couple girls, because I was like, if anything, this song is more for girls than it is for guys. So I was like, I need to make sure this works. And I remember sending it to them, and they were like, oh yeah, no, that's brilliant. And I was like, fuck. I was like, this is one of the proudest I've ever been, because this isn't about me, but all the rest of the songs, they are there's not a single line in the rest of the songs that I have that I've just thrown in for no reason. All of them are about me in some way or another.
Absolutely. Like, there's one of the ones I noticed on that was I've always got my family there for me through it all, always looking out for me, always got loyal mates. In I didn't write down which track that is. Oh, it's in the pickup. The pickup.
That's
there we
the pickup.
go. Yeah, in the pickup. And is that like just because you're really grateful to those around you, or is that just like to give a shout out to those who've helped you through, and anything is just?
I'm eternally grateful to the people I have around me. There's like I've been through a lot of shit, and there's been a lot of like I've done stuff, and I've also had a lot of like rumors and shit spread around me that, like, the mates that I do have left, I'm so grateful to have, because so many people just sort of turned their back on me without giving me a chance. So it's one thing, like, I always try and remember to be humble and grateful in that. Like, the whole reason that I'm here with the album, and especially with the Twitch popping off, is because of the Room of Manly chat, which obviously you know yourself.
Great Discord server.
And yeah, great Discord server. And I owe all of what I've got, I owe to them, and all of the stuff that I owe to them, I owe to my mate Cammy, a wild fee. I met him when I worked at a bar in Inverness, and we've been like best mates and like brothers since. And I would be nowhere near where I am just now if it wasn't for him, because he's pulled me out of dark periods, and then he introduced me into the Room of Manly and like Sophie and all that from Glasgow. And if it wasn't for him and if it wasn't for them, my Twitch wouldn't be popping off. I wouldn't be as buzzing for the album, because they're the ones that keep on hyping me up about it.
Yeah, I can say from knowing them as well that the whole Room of Manly chat, bunch of lovely people. I met I got quite lucky. We were trialing main tanks and got SJL 2112 as joined TPO team. And that's how I ended up getting dragged into that kerfuffle of lovely, wholesome, maybe slightly dark humoured group. I'm kidding. Getting called out. And, yeah, no, everyone in that server is really nice. And I think, if I remember correctly, you were there on New Year's Eve whilst I did my little dance for everyone. And
I was blazing.
You were,
I was away with the ladies.
Dark humor, maybe not dark humor. Maybe sometimes not the greatest humor, but sometimes brilliant humor. Let's go with brilliant humor.
Yeah.
So Duncan's probably seen more of me than the majority of people in chat will ever see, without being able to remember it.
Yeah, no, I don't remember it at all. I remember like when we both spoke about it, and you realized it was part of the Room of Manly, and then you were like, "I swear I've met you," and I was like, "I don't know."
I say that. Hater Boom Tasty in chat has seen more.
I will quickly answer, because I noticed it'll chat earlier and it's going up. So I'll quickly, because I saw Sophie ask a question, so I'll just quickly answer that. The first song I wrote was it was One Simple Picture. It was, I think it goes one in order of writing. I think it's One Simple Picture, the Pickup. I sent you the dates.
I can tell you exactly, because I was actually going to ask you about this a bit late, like after this little bit, because I saw the messaging chat as well. So,
oh right, I didn't know if you just missed it or not. So
no. I wasn't certain. I was going to bring to it in a moment. I was trying to swing around. It's all good. So I can tell you guys the dates, because Duncan very kindly, when I asked for lyrics, he sent me a full, like, incredible sheet of information, which is very useful.
Yeah.
Which was, so in order of One Simple Picture, which you put down as your second ever song, was mid-late 2015, but it's the earliest one on this list. And so it goes One Simple Picture, then The Killing Joke, then
be
Thunder and the Pickup.
The Killing Joke's one of the
Girls.
more recent ones.
The Killing Joke's more recent.
Killing Joke was 2020.
Oh, 2020. Yep. Sorry,
Yep.
I misread that. Part of the lyrics inspired stolen from a song called "You Can Beg" I wrote in 2016.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. "You Can Beg" was a song from 2016, which I assume didn't make the cut. Or you haven't got a very...
No, 20 like you Can Beg was a very it was a very, very mediocre song, and it was literally just written about one of my exes, and then I just picked up like the bit that's all the start of Killing Joke, where it's like, it's the kind of feeling you won't know till you've been there, up until the actual whole chorus bit, the whole "you can beg, you can cry," that's all based off the chorus of what was it even? It was called "You Can Beg." So that's all based off that. But the rest of "You Can Beg" as a song was shit. I can't stand
like
the song.
Sometimes art do be like that. Grammar, yes, much good. No, that's yeah. So you got some of the. So you basically combined an old song into a new song with the Killing Joke then.
Yeah, 100%. Originally, the Killing Joke was actually supposed to be... I went through an emo phase. Very, very late. I know most people went through their emo phase at like 15 and that, whereas I went through it at 22. And the Killing Joke was originally supposed to be like... not screamo, but more kind of yell, like kind of Fall Out Boy kind of style. Like, the whole bit in Killing Joke that goes kind of quiet, it's like, "Sticks and stones may break my bones." Originally, it was supposed to be like, "Sticks and stones will break my bones."
A bit more Stephen and my, like, alternative, heavy,
Yeah, exactly. But the problem was, I wrote it in my head at work. I wrote that bit of the song at work, and I was like, "Oh, that's really good. Yeah, shouty, screamo that." And I got home, and again, the only instrument I play is the accordion. The second you pick up the accordion, it just makes it not heavy at all. Like, suddenly, I couldn't do the whole screamo and shouty thing because it just sounded weird.
I mean, there's always like this thing where it's your music. You can always like have it so you've got this version. You can have your original like version also made later on, because you can always have other people come in and help you out with streaming and other instruments as well.
Yeah.
So
I would definitely like to give it a go at some point, because I do I'm still in that emo phase and I love the stuff. So I would definitely love to give it a go at some point. It's just at the moment, like, I'm very, very far from doing it. Understandable and
very understandable at the moment. I've got a question in chat. I've got a few questions in chat, but I'm going to go with this one first.
Okay.
Being Scottish, what do you think of Jerry Cinnamon? What do you know of Jerry Cinnamon?
Of course I know of Jerry Cinnamon. I hated him at first. I couldn't stand him. Like, everybody, when Belter got big, I could not stand him. But then, I don't know what happened, but about like a year later or something, all of a sudden, I just fell in love with him. Like, I've got one of his limited edition vinyls in my collection. Like I don't know why it happened, but just, I think it was because, yeah, I didn't really listen to him. And then my mum was talking about, after Scotland won the Euros, won the qualification for the Euros, there was all this talk on the radio about getting loads of Scottish artists together to make like a big song for Scotland being in the Euros. And my mum was sat there telling me that she'd heard all this on the radio, and I was like, "Oh, really? Who's getting considered?" And she was like, "Oh, Lewis Capaldi, Ian McDonald, Jerry Cinnamon." And I was like, "Jerry, what?" And yeah, but I was like, "Jerry, have you heard his music, Mum?" And she was like, "Not really, no." So then I played, I think it was Sometimes. I played one of the songs that is very, very, very obviously about drugs the entire way through. And my mum was sitting like bopping her head along to it, and I was like, "Why do you enjoy this?" Like, I sing about drugs and you go mental. He sings about drugs and you're learning the words. Like,
double standard.
Yeah, I know. And then from then on, like, after listening to that, like, when I was sort of forcing my mum to listen to his songs, I sort of realized, shit, this guy's actually not bad. So I was like, I probably wouldn't go and see him live, because, like, I don't like the whole, I don't know, there might be people in chat that are like this, but the, like, Dark Fruits Bucket Cap Brigade, if you know what I mean, like, the 15, 16, so it's like 15, 16-year-olds that'll get going to festivals wearing bucket caps, football tops, and dark fruits.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And they'll only go and see, like, Liam Gallagher. They just ruined my day. So like, I would never be able to go and see him live because I would never be able to associate with those people.
You've
I'm
just
just like,
called
oh,
out
get away
someone
from
in
me.
chat. Uber, I see you. I see you in chat who went to Isle of Wight exactly like that.
Oh God.
I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
kidding.
I'm so sorry.
It's a joke. It's all right. I know what you mean though. He's messing as well.
Some of them, I've got mates that are like it, and some of them are alright. But it's, like, I've met some of them, and just all my days are the worst kind of people.
Oh, you're lucky. All good. No, I get what you mean on that front as well. I guess I want to keep it topical to like Gary. Keep on Gary because someone there with a G. Jerry.
Gary.
But do you have any like artists which inspired current music? Like you said a bit about the start, having more modern music be inspiring what you make, like Taylor Swift and stuff. Not saying Taylor Swift is actually an inspiring one, but like,
Yeah.
Do you have like current artists, like any favorite current artists or anything as well?
In terms of favorite current artists that didn't inspire me, it would easily be Panic at the Disco. I absolutely love them. But in terms of actual inspiration, it would be Ed Sheeran is a definite. Mainly because You Need Me, I Don't Need You. Like, the pickup was like the first ever sort of faster song I'd ever written. Yeah. And it was fully based off You Need Me, I Don't Need You, because if I need to get hyped, like I did it before I joined your call. There's a 10-minute long version of You Need Me, I Don't Need You on YouTube, and it's Ed Sheeran doing it live. And it's so fast and it's so fired. It's just 10 minutes of rapid rapping. And I'm obsessed with it, and I know every single word all the way through to the 10 minutes, including like there's an instrumental bit of it halfway through that I added in. Like I figured out that You Need Me, I Don't Need You is the same chords to The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Pass Out by Tiny Tempa, and The Alphabet Aerobics by Black Alicious. And so like when it gets to that instrumental bit halfway through You Need Me, I Don't Need You, I will sit there myself going, Artificial Lemons Horizontal and all amazing, and do like the whole, like I've got my own wee system set up for it, and it gets me hyped every single time.
I have to ask you to do the alphabet thing. I'm kidding.
So, yeah.
I'm not going to put you on the spot like that. Sorry, carry on.
So he's a definite inspiration. I think the other one that's been a big inspiration was DCI was heavily inspired by NF. I found NF when I was going through a bit of a dark period last year, and I don't know if you've heard him, but it's very, very aggressive, angry sounding rap that's totally and utterly about mental health. It's so aggressive, and I just fell in love with it, and that's how DCI came about. Because I mean, DCI it's got a little bit of a bop to it, but originally I remember my mate Jamie, who's in the chat, Jokers, he was living with me for a while before he moved back to Dublin, and I actually sat there, like I wrote DCI without the accordion, and then I went through to him, and I was doing it, and it was so much more aggressive when I first came out with it. Like, it wasn't the sort of tuneful, like, DCI who, yo, it was more a shouty, like, DCI who, yo, what's the game? I fucked up, I'm the only one to play it. Like, it was a lot more aggressive. Mixed it with the accordion, and especially because the chorus is a little bit more tuneful, I was like, I kind of wanted to tone it down just a little bit.
Sorry, the camera's cut out for a moment.
Oh, that's fine.
Discord be like that. So hopefully that'll get through. But I do like what you've done with DCI though. Having it more tuneful definitely adds a really nice element to it. Because having it just be the shout, I can see it working really well like that. Having it be the shout, I can see it working. But having it.
Yeah, I think it would have worked. It would have worked really, really well as it being like a lot shouty and a lot more angry. But it was just when I wrote the chorus, I was like, I tried to merge in the shouty angriness with this more sort of tuneful chorus, and it just didn't really work. So I thought I had to tone it down a little bit. And in fairness, I love when it's gone, especially that last verse. I'm just obsessed with it.
Oh, absolutely, it's bloody incredible, is what it is. Big fan. Probably, I want to say it's my favorite track because the fast-paced bit is just. It kind of blew my mind the first time hearing it, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh my god, fuck it hell, you're going for an Eminem style speed record coming up on Gorilla with Godzilla with that, not Gorilla, Godzilla.
If you want, I can try my best and do it exclusive and do the fast bit live if you wanted.
What do people think? I assume everyone in chat would love that.
I can give it a bash if chat want it. So no, thankfully it's just rap, so I don't really need to warm up rap. So it's I'll start the slow bit first. So it's so if I'm going down now, let me have my last say. Might as well spill the truth out if this is really my last day. The roses are dead and the vials are too. You're crying inside, don't worry me too. The pickup's a lie. I hate to bring you so lucky. Wanna die, my crack of the news, but what about family and friends and mentors, man? You don't know what's like to be on that bender with that specific long tight to your back. Turns of bright colours to shades of black. Looking for and kill these are my last words. I'm sorry for the past, for the damaging hurt while lying and more. Wanna fly with the birds, but I'm too scared now. Running up on the dirt. I've tried and failed and cried before. Man like me fell right from the door. Can't give up now. I don't want mum to cry, so I'll put my hand out and grab more die and roll the dice. There you go.
Thank you. That was amazing. Like absolutely mind blowing how quickly.
like my mate Jamie's just said in the chat, I can do the fast bit of Rap God at 150% speed.
That's absolutely mental. That's absolutely bonkers. I noticed Laura posted. I think that's Laura. They posted in chat a few questions, so I'm gonna go with those as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with this one first. Any favorites out of the ones you've written, or any favorite songs or lyrics that you have written?
Yes. I think, like I said, she's the one I'm most proud of, for the simple reason that it's the only one that's not about me. I'm really, really proud that I've managed to do that. In terms of favourite songs, I think Killing Joke as a whole is probably my favourite, just because of what it means to me. DCI is my favourite to do, though.
Yeah.
I love doing DCI, and I can't wait for, like, when COVID ends. We've got, like, obviously you might get to it later on, so I won't say much on it, but we've got, like, a music video and a release night and all that all scheduled and worked out.
On that front, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll leave that for now, but I cannot wait to be able to do, like, for the release night, I'll obviously perform the songs live, and DCI is the one that I'm looking forward to the most to actually do live. But in terms of, most proud would be She, my favourite would be Killing Joke, my favourite to do would be DCI. My favourite verse, though, is actually the last verse of Thunder. I think my favourite verse is that last verse of Thunder, especially the bit where it starts going about, what's it, my son, he'll be my prodigy, learn from my mistakes, my fucking prodigy, and maybe just hopefully one day he'll look up and he'll be proud of me. It just gets me so hyped every single time I do it.
Yeah.
I think there's, I've actually got a couple of favourite songs that aren't even in the album, just because I didn't think they were good enough, but I think the album's probably a collection of all of my favourite ones. I think it would be, like, I can't pick a single one out of them that I'm like, I'm not too sure about that one.
Understandable. Like, it's only worth putting forward your best foot, as it were, anyway. Like, I think all of your feet are pretty good, probably, at this point, from what I've heard. But, I can imagine, like, putting your... Like, if you're putting out an album, you want to put your best foot forward, so if you've got 7 of your outright favourite tracks on that album, then that's a great, like, I can't disagree with you when you say, like, DCI is so freaking hype when it gets to the kind of like, thing. It's like, oh my god, what are you doing? How are you going so quick?
I think it's how deep it is as well. Like, when I sing, like, the Killing Joke, fair enough, the rest of them have got deep lyrics, but I think the DCI is the one that's the most sort of open, and it's like the Killing Joke and all that are like open to interpretation, where DCI is just straight up like, there's DCI, what the hell happened here? A little too much partying with drugs, I hear, and stuff like that. Like, things like that. You can't listen to that line and go, oh, that could mean something else. And I think that's why I love DCI, because it is just, every line is just straight up obvious. This is what it means. The whole song itself does actually have, obviously DCI, you would think means like speaking to a police officer and all that, and that's what it's supposed to mean. But to me, the whole song actually has this total other meaning, which only a so small amount of my friends know, because it's something that, like, I would always want to keep personal to me. But like, everyone else would listen to it and be like, oh yeah, he's getting interviewed by the police and that and that. But like, to me, the whole song means something completely different. But I just love performing it. Like, every time I do it in the house, my mum hates it. My mum hates it, but every time I do it in the house, I get so gassed about it. I just can't.
As you should.
Can't get up.
As you should. Outright. I guess I'm going to go on to the second one of Laura's question. Also, a bloody good question, so thank you for that. I'm stealing it. Definitely my original question. Sorry, Laura, I'm claiming it. No. If you could collab with anyone, who would it be?
Ooh. One of them would 100% be KSI. One of them would 100%. I love KSI. I've got tickets to go and see him in Glasgow. It was supposed to be on my 23rd birthday in May, but instead it's been moved to October, and I'm gutted. But like, one of them would 100%. I've watched him. Like, I think I subscribed to KSI when he was on like 8,000 subs, and now he's on like 10 million or whatever. And I love the man. I think Ed Sheeran's a definite, because he's been such a big inspiration to my music. And then I think the last one would be, I don't know how a collab would work with him, because like, I don't think it would fit at all, but Panic at the Disco, easy.
I reckon that you could work something like Brendan Urie would be. You'd be able to tweak something. I reckon he could work with an accordion somehow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he plays the accordion. He plays it himself.
Doesn't surprise me. Talented guy.
But I've just thought of one that Jokers or Jamie will go mental at me for not saying, because I've always said it would be one that I'd love to do. I don't know if you've heard of her. She's called Dodie.
I know Dodie.
Yep. Yeah, I love Dodie. Yep. I saw her live in Glasgow. I felt very, very out of place, because like the average person in her audience was like 50 and female, but I loved every second of it. And I think if I got the chance to do anything with her, I would probably cry.
Understandably so. I think very talented person as well. Like, you guys would be able to, like, you know, he plays like ukulele and stuff. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, she's so talented. Like, she does piano, guitar, ukulele, violin. Like, she plays it all. But she actually, I wouldn't say she was an inspiration to my music in the sense that my music doesn't sound like hers or anything like that. But she was definitely an inspiration in the sense that, like, my songs I mean, they were kind of open. Like, One Simple Picture and that, it goes into a little bit, but it wasn't until I found Dodie, and Dodie obviously sings these really, really deep lyrics and these really, really deep songs. And that's when I started sort of coming out of my shell. I think it was after, I think I found Dodie not long before I wrote the pickup. And it was after all that, like, she's not an inspiration in terms of the songs sound like hers, but she's an inspiration in the sense of my songs wouldn't be what they are if I hadn't found someone as open and honest and such a good songwriter as herself.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's kind of crucial in terms of including you and your music, and definitely do that.
Yeah.
And well, as you were saying before as well, especially with Killing Joke and like DCI and stuff, you've got you representing you, kind of thing. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's you on paper. Well, I say you on paper. Yeah. For me, it's you on virtual paper, because I've got this. I've got the lyrics just cheating and having all the lyrics written up for me on the side. Like, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Helps me out a lot.
That's no worries at all.
I can't keep up with, like, I struggle with keeping up with lyrics, but it's absolutely mental how quickly this guy right now, well, it's looping through.
Yeah, I really wanted to fit it in. That fast bit of DCI originally didn't exist. DCI was a finished song, and it finished on that second verse and then the chorus, and that's how it ended. Okay. It did have a wee bridge, but then for ages and ages and ages, I had the first bit of the fast bit, like the roses are red and the violets are two bit. Yeah. I had that bit written, and then I was like, I can't not put this in the album. I was like, there's a couple of things I always wanted to show in singing, and that was A, that I've got flow and I can rap, and B, that I've got a semi-decent range, especially in the low sense. Because not many of my songs really go that low in terms of a key, but like, if you put on Josh Turner's Your Man, I'll sit there all day going like, baby, lock them door and turn the lights down low. Like, so low, because I love singing, like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all that. they're my favorite type of music. I love them so much. So I kind of wanted to get that low bit in, and that's why that middle bit of Killing Joke that goes quiet, that's why that's in there, because I really wanted to show off that kind of like, if anything, I'm trying to show myself and be like, yeah, no, I can do this. And that's exactly what DCI was. I was like, this fast bit needs to go in a song, and I was looking at all my songs and I was like, what song could this fast bit fit into? And I was at DCI, it works fucking perfectly. So then I finished the fast bit, adding on the bit that's oh my god, I can't even remember off the top of my head. But the second bit of the rap, of the really, really fast bit, I added that in and then added it all into DCI, and I was like, sweet, this works perfectly.
Oh, nice. Where it gets to why lie anymore, wanna fly with the birds, but I'm too scared.
Yeah, why lie anymore when I'm too scared now of getting up in the dirt. Yeah, that bit.
Gotcha.
I wrote that bit after, and I loved it.
That's absolutely mental. So good.
Thanks.
So good. Joke, I guess. This is where it gets some more. How have you found that the current lockdown situations and the past year has been affecting your recording process?
It has fucked me. It has absolutely ruined me. So my recording studio is at my mate's, and I did have a discussion with someone from the Scottish government, and they said that technically it's work. So technically I would have been able to go the last month of that, but he lives with his mum. So, and his mum used to have COVID. She had COVID early on, so like we don't want to risk it at all. So I don't have, like, my laptop's pretty shit quality, and I also don't have my own mic and all that here. So I've not even been able to record stuff and send it to him. So literally all we have recorded is the vocals to Killing Jokes. Like the 7 songs, that's all we've got recorded. And even then, it wasn't until he did the instrumental and that, and then sent it to me, we realized that I sang it in slightly off key.
Oh.
So we don't even have that anymore. So like, what our plan is, once I'm allowed to go back to his house, we're literally gonna dedicate a weekend to just recording all 7 songs in case this happens again. Because originally we were thinking like, all right, we'll record the vocals for Killing Joke, we'll do that, and then we'll do like song by song.
Yeah.
And then, just with how lockdown's gone and how it's screwed everything, we're just like, right, we just need to get all 7 of them recorded ASAP. Because, like, I'm aiming for a June, July kind of release, but we're now mid-March, and we don't even have one of the songs done. And then we've got the music video as well, and the release date and all that, which we've got a location and that confirmed, but I need an audience for the music video, and I can't get that until COVID allows it. So it's looking like, obviously, with the new stuff put out by Boris saying we might be back to normal like end of June. It's looking like hopefully we'll get it recorded in July, but it's at a point where I'm realistically starting to look at the album might not even come out until later on this year, not even when I wanted it to. Because even June, July was a delayed date. Originally, I wanted to get it out like April, May. And then all this lockdown shit happened and we haven't been able to record, and I was like, right, okay, we'll do June, July, and now we're mid-March and I'm starting to think, right, realistically, you might be looking August, September now. It's really, really getting on my nerves. Like, of all the years that it had to happen, it had to be the year that I decided, yeah, I'm going to release an album. Because
it really is like that, I guess. It definitely has been a bit of a shutdown on that front for everything. So it's like, I'm going to continue the vein that we're on right now. But,
okay.
So, have you had, because I know you haven't been able to record properly at the moment, do you have any favourite moments at all, recording-wise? Like, I can imagine that with the Killing Joke being the only one that you've actually managed to sort of start doing, there may have been a memorable moment from that.
It took, I think, the first day I went out to record it, it took about 4 attempts to get it. And then we realized, then the audio corrupted, so I had to go back the next weekend and do it again. And like, thankfully, the entire my best mates, like the guy doing, like Ryan, who does the recording, and the actual producing of the songs. I literally met him the day I was born. Like his parents lived next door to mine when I was born. So I met him the day I was born. So we go way back. So it's been a lot of fun. I think the main thing that's I think the main thing that stands out as like a favorite was it was just pure embarrassing for me of my voice cracked completely. Like we were finally like it was probably the best recording we'd done of the Killing Joke up until this point. And then it got to the bit that so call me the Joker, and that's obviously that call is a very, very high note for me. It strains my throat so much hitting that note. And I did it, and I went like, "So call." Like,
Oh no!
I was on the floor, and Ryan was just looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "No, leave me alone." But he always judges me, and Jamie Jokers always judges me as well because I stand by the fact that smoking helps me sing, and the reason I stand by that is because if I sing without having a cigarette before, my throat just totally goes. And people say like, "Oh, smoking doesn't help singing and that, and it closes off your throat and that." See, when I go like, if I'm singing shit and then I go for a smoke, my throat just completely opens up, and I will come back, and everything will be fine and dandy, and I'll be able to sing better than ever before. So I stand by it. So Ryan always gets annoyed at me because right before we go to record, like he's done music production and that before, so he refuses to believe me that it helps me, but to me it does. So he'll always go, "Right, I'm ready to record, are you?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'll just go for a quick smoke." And he's like, "What do you mean? We're trying to do an album here." And I'm like, "No, it's fine, I'll be back in 5.
I suppose it kind of coats your throat a bit, maybe.
Yeah, I think it does. Like, it just kind of cuts it open. Like at the moment just now, like my throat feels really, really closed off. Like I wouldn't be able to sing Killing Joke the whole way through, just now. But then, like, let me go for a smoke and I'll come back and I'll be able to blast it. Like it's easy as days.
Yeah, absolutely. Just heads up, your camera's cut out again. I don't know if it's on my end or.
But usually when I'm streaming, it always works absolutely fine.
Discord's got a bit of a tricky one with that. I've noticed that because my webcam cuts out a lot when I'm Discord as well. So I'm kind of glad it hasn't so far. Fingers crossed. There we go. It's back.
I should be back.
No idea what happened.
I don't like it's a brand new camera. I better not do this all the time. Like,
is it? I'm gonna call it out on stream. Is it a Depths Tech?
It's a Nexigo.
I have no idea. Okay, mine. Okay, moving on from that. Great. So on that. So with moments of recording. So with current situation, do you think how do you think it's affecting local music scene for you? Because I have no understanding of the Scottish music scene. So I'm 45 minutes from the south coast. I can't say I'm anywhere near.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's it's totally ruined it. Like I think like I used to busk on the high street, and I'm glad I don't now because like busking would be dead because just town's gone. But then like some of our biggest bars are live entertainment bars. You've got like Johnny Fox's, the Caledonian. I mean, the Cali's only like DJs, but you've got them. Botanic House, the guys that I'm doing the music video, Hootenannies. Hootenannies is a massive one. It's got like bottom floor, it does Kaylee music. Middle floor, it does like rock and all that. And then top floor, it's got a live DJ. And obviously, all of them have had to shut down. So thankfully, like even before lockdown, I wasn't doing live performances and all that. I don't plan on doing any live performances until the album's out and done. So it's not really affected me, but I know boys that do music live, and it's completely and utterly ruined them. And as well as them, it's ruining the bars as well. Like there was a while where it was looking like the bar that I've got an agreement to do the music video with, they were looking at shutting down because they'd lost all their money.
Yeah.
And I was sat there like if like it was the perfect location. The layout they've got is the perfect location for the music video, and I was like, if they shut down, I've got beef with a couple of bars in Inverness. So like annoyingly the two that I've got beef with are ones with live stages. So like that's them out the window. Then if this one went bust, that would have been out the window. And I'm very limited after that. And the ones that were left, I was like, that just doesn't feel right to me. And I was like, fair enough, I could go to Glasgow or that, but I've got like a 40-person guest list of who's coming to film the music video, and I was like, half of them won't be able to get down to Glasgow for this. So I'm just praying that they stay up and they don't go bust.
But then look, they'll stay about, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of leads on to one of my next questions on... Oh, you've already answered one question. You sing in the shower, we've already figured that one out. I'm kidding.
Yeah, of course I do. I sing everywhere. I sing everywhere. Like, the car is like a live stage for me. Because all the time, Jokers used to hate me when he lived here because, like, he worked in bars, so he would sleep until like 1, 2 o'clock. And he would just get awoken by me in the shower, just blasted it, like, all the time I'm singing.
Yeah, yes, he does. It's annoying.
Yep, there we go.
There you go. That was kind of off topic. I just actually remembered you saying earlier that you wrote one of the songs in the shower, or you got part of the song in the shower. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just chuck that one in, fine. But, on actual ones, so... I was actually going to ask if you're going to add more instruments onto your album, other than accordion and raw vocals kind of thing, and you've already kind of gone through this. But what kind of instruments are you hoping to incorporate with the album?
So far we've got guitar. I've got a guitarist, we've got a drummer, a pianist, and a violinist are all involved. So we should hopefully be able to make like a pretty good sound with it. Like I do love the accordion, but it's just like it does kind of drone on a little bit, and I don't want that to be the whole song. So we're bringing in the rest of it. But like I said earlier, like when it comes to anything like solos, like obviously if you listen to the songs, you've got the bits where instead of it's me singing, it's me actually playing a tune. Those bits are staying in the album. Like I'll be doing like big accordion solos, but in the background of the rest of the tracks, you're pretty much not going to hear it at all. It will be like acoustic electric guitars, the drummer, the violinist, and the pianist playing throughout.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually going to ask about those because I've noticed there's a few of them on each track. So I think my favourite's probably on One Simple Picture. Probably has my favourite one.
I love that one.
Yes.
I love it.
Bloody good. Yeah, so what led you to the recording? So it's just you sort of at one went, oh yeah, there's guitar solos on these songs, accordion solo. Always like this just sounds right.
It just sort of, I mean, it kind of fills a gap. Like I think that's like. Yeah, in most songs you do get like guitar solos and all that, and obviously I can't do that when I'm writing songs. And there's just some songs where I've been like, obviously, when I'm trying to work out the chords to a song, like if I'm just writing it down on paper, like I said, I'm shit with music theory, so I wouldn't be able to sit there on paper and go, right, I'm going to do this chord, this chord, this chord. So I'll write it down and then I'll go to my accordion, I'll pick it up, and then I'll learn the tune, play the tune, and then learn what chords it is based on the tune. And sometimes, like, there's been a couple of choruses, like the Killing Joke and One Simple Picture, where I've done that, I've done the tune, and I've been like, it sounds really, really good in the accordion. I think the accordion it's such a powerful instrument. If you really belt into it, it's such a powerful sounding instrument.
Definitely.
So, like, I just really, really like incorporating solos every now and then, just because I feel like it really, really stands out.
It really does, and I'll compliment on it. All of them are really nice and like the one simple the one simple picture. There we go. I have such a bad memory. The One Simple Picture solo sort of has this like I feel like if you were to walk out and see the ocean and listen to that exact same time, you'd have this sort of full existential crisis moment when listening to solo in such a complimentary way. Like,
yeah,
you'd sort of be like, I'm living life right.
Yeah.
But am I? Kind of thing. I was listening to that. It's just so
freaking.
It's
probably my
it
favorite.
hits so hard. Like,
Yeah, I think
it
it's
caught me
probably
off
my
guard.
favorite solo as well. Yeah, I think it especially stands out because like the Killing Joke one, that's obviously like right at the end.
Yeah.
Whereas that One Simple Picture one, like it's One Simple Picture is one of those songs where like the first half of it sounds and pretty much is completely different from the second half of it.
Yes, a little
Like
bit. Yeah.
there's a chord change, there's a key change, there's a tempo change, the lot, and like that it's that accordion solo that breaks it up, and I just absolutely love it. It is my favorite solo by far.
It's absolutely brilliant. Like, I can't think of anything more to say. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm
Because
blushing now.
I would compliment it on the music theory side of things, but as well as you, I also cannot say anything music theory wise. I'm so bad at it. Like people, like whenever I ask people, oh yeah, what would you suggest asking a musician? And they're like, oh, ask about key changes, and I'm like, hey, sure, no. So
No,
yeah,
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, so this is slightly backtracking a bit. So you've got the recording process, and it's coming up a bit later on. Thank you for the host. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it unhosted you because it went and auto-hosted my mate Bween, so I've just rehosted you.
It do be like that. I understand that entirely. And thank you to everyone for following and stuff as well in the posture check. I do appreciate that. So with having been in lockdown and so on, when the album comes out, which I'm kind of gassed, but not gonna lie, my head's a little bit hyped for that. The have a question written out and I can't find it. Where is it? Where is it?
No pressure, no pressure.
Oh yes. So I was going to ask if you've done any live performances in the past, but I guess from busking that would be about the more close things. And then I was going to say, are you planning on doing any in the future? I think you've kind of answered both of those already.
Yeah, so I did in terms of ones before. Obviously, I busked. I've like sang in front of my mates, and I used to be wild for karaoke before lockdown.
Gotta see it.
What's the in terms of afterwards? I think I would love to do live performances. It's something I would love to do. Like on the release night of the album, I'll definitely be doing the whole album live, and then I'll sort of decide from there, like depending on how that goes. I am looking at the thought of like going down to Glasgow for a weekend and trying to book myself in bars on like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then just doing a weekend of gigs because a lot of my mates are in Glasgow as well, so I can probably count on them for coming and supporting. So I would absolutely love to do it. I think it's like the dream I've always had since I was younger is like singing and performing in front of a crowd and eventually getting to a point where I'm massive and I'm playing in front of fucking thousands of people. And I just like singing is what I love to do, and if I could make it into a job, that would be just absolutely unreal. So yeah, I would love to do more live stuff. I'd love to.
Amazing. Are you planning on having like a sort of backing band with you, support band like guitar and stuff around you, or are you going to stick to just accordion and you? Because both would work, from what I can tell. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it kind of depends on availability and if like because if my guitarist was keen, then yeah, 100% I'd have them down. But like the music video, for example, that's me on stage, but I've got no backing band or anything. It's just me. And I think I would definitely, if I went live places, I would 100% be bringing the accordion. I wouldn't be able to not.
Well, you have to. You got the solos. God.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like if I had guitarists and that had the availability to come and do it, then yeah, I'd love to go and do it with a group of people. But if it came to a point where it was literally just me with my accordion and a backing track through a speaker, I'd be more than happy with that. Like as long as I'm performing, then I'm gonna be happy.
Well, absolutely. I think. Well, I'm looking forward to that. If I can get to Glasgow, why not? Like if you like, ask Stephen to hook me up a place to stay, or TV, you know, like. I'm crashing the car. No, I'm kidding. No, I would absolutely come up to Glasgow to see you, without a doubt. Money providing, I can't necessarily.
Yeah, no.
But like, you know, I mean, like, no joke. Like, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, so now I can get on to. I can see it on your hoodie, so I think I have a an idea. So I have the 2 album arts you sent me. Do you mind if I show them on screen?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Cool. Got the 2 album art. I'm gonna a bit small so don't cover up you. Cover up me. Do you have what sort of meaning behind them both? Because I can see the only thing like it definitely looks like you can sort of get loads of self-reflection in them. But is there more meaning than just that? Those two.
It's difficult because I didn't design them. It was my best mate Colin who's done graphics and all that, and it is a matter of like when I got him to design the artwork, he asked like what sort of thing I'm looking for, and I was like, well, it's called Contrast, and the entire album's about mental health and all that. Yeah. And he's just sort of gone from there, and I think the artwork that we picked, I absolutely love. I really, really, really do love it. The other one, like the sort of red one,
yeah,
I did love it. I really did love it. It was just a matter of I thought it looked a little bit too dark. I was like, it looks a little bit too twisted and kind of fucked up. So I was like, okay. And I was always thinking of like from the very, very start. I was thinking of like, how will that look? How will this look on a vinyl? How will this look on a hoodie? And straight away, just that contrast one just really, really, really stood out, and I just fell in love with it from the second he showed it to me. Like I think he made like 10 in total, and Jamie in the chat, he's like my advisor. Like every decision I have to make for the album, I go in a call with him and we discuss it and we try and come up with an answer for it. And like both of us just the one that we picked was the first one I saw.
Yeah.
And every single artwork he showed from then on, none of them came close.
It can be like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bloody good artwork. Both the ones you sent through, which are on screen right now. So the top one is the one which like contrast, the one we're talking about, which is on your hoodie as well. And
yeah.
the other one as well, which is a bit more obviously mental health oriented in some aspects of it.
Yeah.
Both
I feel like
bloody good artwork.
I feel like the one we picked is a lot more subtle, and I think that's one of the reasons I like it. Like I think one of the big things for me was like it's the same as with my logo and that, doing the merch and that. I'm trying to come out with clothing that people aren't just going to buy because they want to support me. People are going to buy because they want to wear it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's why, like, when I looked at the more red one, I was kind of like, it does look a bit more twisted in that, and I was like, I don't know how people would react to that. I don't know if it's really going to be that appealing. Like I absolutely loved it. It's an unbelievable bit of art.
It really is.
But
yeah.
I was like, I just didn't really feel like it's going to be the kind of thing that people are going to look at and go,
I want to wear.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, it's got like it. First of all, it doesn't say contrast on it, and second of all, like obviously, it's got like the how's it going better and all that. And I was like, it just looks a bit too much on the eyes. Whereas the one we've picked is it's very, very simplistic, but at the same time, it's incredible.
More or less black and white, quite literally, in terms of the simplicity of it. It's just got it's you reflecting on yourself, but it's your skeleton, so it's like showing your core a bit. I don't know. I read into
yeah, I mean, because that's what the music is. Like all of my songs, like we said, they're very open, and it's like it is me, like it's like naked me with no skin or anything, and that's what Contrast shows. Like the album is 100% and fully honestly me, and I feel like it represents perfectly.
Absolutely. I think Joker's in the chat was saying all artwork you showed was really good, but that first one was just so good, and fit the album very well. Yeah, it's minimalistic, but it conveys the theme quite accurately. I think I agree with that entirely. It comes through really nicely, and out of the two, I do actually prefer the one you've chosen, but I do love the other one as well. Like, again, like you're saying, if I were to choose an item of clothing to wear as well, if you want to sell merch, you make it attractive. Like, a friend of mine, Matt Cassidy, has like that flower aesthetically pleasing. It's the style of artwork where it's just like if
Yeah.
you can get an aesthetically pleasing piece of artwork, it doesn't matter if they know the artist. They'll pick up the.
Yeah, totally. And like just like the album cover, it's the exact same as like Jamie and I sat one night. I think I was walking home from my mates after drinking. It was my brother's, and I was plastered, and I was on the phone to him the whole way home, and then we started talking about the album, and we started coming up with names, and just the exact same as the artwork. Contrast was like the first thing that I said, and straight away, like every single name that we said from there, it always just traced back to Contrast. So that was the same as the artwork. Every bit of artwork he sent, it was always just, it's good, but it's not quite this.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that everyone involved's done a bloody good job with it. I'd say again, like I use bloody good a bit too much maybe, but it's like, not very good expressing things, but it's very very good like things. I guess that leads to. Oh, I'm running short of questions. Oh no. Right. So that leads to. Yes. Do you like before I ask the last? Like the last main question. What hobbies have you been doing to keep busy? Because I know that you have been streaming a fair bit recently, and I do want to shout that out because your streams are very entertaining.
Thanks. Hobbies, I mean, not many, because there's nothing to do. I used to play football all the time, but I can't play football now. I read a lot of comics. I've got a very, very large collection of like Batman, Walking Dead, all that. The one that I'm reading just now is Rick and Morty, and I'm just in love with comics. Like, wouldn't be able to live without them. Bar reading comics, it's pretty much just binge watching shows. Like at the moment, I'm watching Family Guy, and I think in the last week I've watched 13 seasons.
Okay.
And then just gaming, and obviously, like you said, in I think it's mid to late February, I started streaming on Twitch, and I think we're on like stream number. I think last night's stream was stream number 13, and we're sat affiliate already, mad amount of followers, mad amount of subs. Like the growth and the support I've been getting has been unreal, and then we've got the merch coming out. I've just seen the chat.
Trisha Takanao, yeah.
Yeah. So like Twitch has really kept me busy, and like there was a little bit of time, like I kind of go in and out of these dark stages in terms of mental health, and like Twitch has really helped me through it. And I'm so glad that I've started doing it, because it means that I'm playing games with the boys a lot more, but it also means that the amount of friends I've made through Twitch already, like obviously I've met yourself, and then I've got my boys Ween and Big Quins. Like there's so many. I didn't realize it wasn't until like January that I even started watching Twitch. I never bothered with it. I never really saw the appeal. And then in January I started watching someone on Twitch, and then from then on, like I spend most of my time when I'm not streaming sitting watching other people stream, and I absolutely love it. I can't get enough of it.
Absolutely. It's nice to see you kind of joining the. I want to say kind of like family of it. It's not exactly a family, but like the platform, because your growth has been exponential. That you mentioned how quickly you're growing, and it shows that you put the work into it, and you are doing a blood stream. Like I popped in last night, as you were saying, like it was entertaining. I popped in, the first thing I saw was you drop a really good shot on someone who's looking at their packaging card.
Oh, that blew my mind.
That's a really good shot.
It's one of the things, like I know a lot of people that stream, and I've got mates that have said like they'll maybe watch some people's stream just to like up the numbers. Whereas a lot of my mates, especially the guys that are in Manly, have all said like they actually do come and watch my stream for the reason that it is entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's a positive if I think all of my mates would back me up that I am very good at chatting shit. Like I said to you with the interview, like I was like I'll be able to answer anything, and like this interview will go class simply because I'm so good at rambling and just chatting rubbish. So I think streaming perfectly fits me, because I can sit there for 3 hours if nobody's active in chat. I'm still able to sit there and be like just non-stop talking. So
I mean, if it were, it's the best way to be with that kind of thing. Cool.
Yeah. Gift of the gab, that's the word.
Absolutely. So I guess that leads on to my last. I'm gonna say two questions. They're kind of combined into one.
Okay.
What do you have to like for everyone to look out for coming up? I know you have an album dropping hopefully in June or
Yeah.
July kind of thing. So any like what kind of albums, what times, like what kind of like time frame are we looking at for things?
So obviously the merch store dropped on Friday,
Link for
and I can type in the chat.
I don't know if it'll
Uh,
actually allow you to, but if you send it to me on Discord, I'll be able to pop it
oh,
in
that's a
chat.
shit. Yeah, probably will. Probably will. Something.
Otherwise, I don't want you to get banned in my chat for posting a link.
/store. There we go.
Thank you.
So that dropped, and there's a lot more designs, and there's a lot more stuff coming. A lot more hoodies. There's t-shirts coming. There's bags coming. Like the company I use has got a very wide variety of stuff that I can do. So over the next wee while, there's going to be a lot more stuff coming. After that, obviously, it's just going to be the Twitch until the album comes, and then what will happen is the album's looking about June or July, and the 7 weeks before the album comes out is going to be big promotion rush, and it's going to be like because all the songs are so different. I didn't want to just put out the single and just put out the album, because like I've done it myself. You listen to one song or something and you go, it's not for me, and then you don't even give the rest of the album a chance.
Yeah, you have to put out something.
So
which sort of helps
so what we'll be doing is, Killing Joke's actually coming out as a single.
Awesome.
And that's got a music video with it, in which one of my really good mates, Callum, who I hope he's still in the chat. He was in the chat earlier, and he told me to remember to do it, remember to plug the video. He's directing and all that. We've got it all worked out, and it's such a fantastic idea that he's come up with, that we've come up with, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to wait until we can get the music video done to release the album, because the way it'll all work is, 7 weeks running up to it. Week 1, I'll release a teaser of song 1. Then week 2, I'll really do a teaser of song 2. Then week 3, that's when, because the Killing Joke's song 3 on the album, that's when I'll release the single with the music video.
Awesome.
Then obviously week 4, 5, 6, and 7, again, just every single week, just do a little 5 to 10 second long clip of each song. And then on that 8th week, that's when I've got a big release night sorted at a pub, the place that I'm doing the music video. So we'll do the release night, and then the album comes out. And then once that album comes out and we've done the release night, I'll start trying to look at the possibility of doing live gigs and that. And what I would like to do is, instead of just doing the odd live gig, essentially do it like a kind of tour. I know I'm not big enough to do Duncan Andrew tour, but it essentially would be. So I would be in let's say, I would do the release night in Inverness, then I would do Aberdeen the weekend after, Glasgow the weekend after, Edinburgh the weekend after that, because obviously I work during the week. So then just try and do that every weekend. I'm going different places, and what I'd love to do is, Watford is actually like a home away from home for me. Before lockdown, I spent a lot, I was down in Watford pretty much once a month because I go down to watch the football.
Okay.
So what I'd love to do is I'd love to get a couple of gigs down in England, but especially down in Watford, and then hopefully be able to, one of the reasons I'd love for that to happen is because then if I can get all that arranged, then I can actually get a contrast tour hoodie, because it would be a tour at that point. Yeah. So it would have the date, and then Glasgow, Edinburgh, Watford, and so I think that's something I'm really looking forward to doing, and I'm seriously looking at doing. I just need to wait until, I'm not going to bother trying to arrange things until lockdown's out the way. Because the music video, we arranged the date. The music video was supposed to be getting recorded in April. Originally it was supposed to be getting recorded in April.
A bit tight on that, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to. I don't want to sit there and arrange a whole tour, get in touch with places and go, right, I'll play with you on this week, you on this week, you on this week, and then have to turn around and go, shit, no, it's not going to happen. So I think I'm just going to wait until I know for a fact that I can do it, and that's when I'll start getting in touch with people, and that's when I can start making announcements of like, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be here. So yeah, I would hope to be in quite a few places in Scotland, at least Watford in England, and I'd like to go to Dublin because Jamie lives over there, so I'd love to go and do a gig in Dublin somewhere. So hopefully we'll get a big tour. But in terms of announcements, bar upcoming merch, there's not an awful lot I could really say until you're probably looking about May or something until a proper announcement comes, because like I say, at the moment we don't even have the songs recorded or produced, so there's not really much. So bar the merch and the Twitch continuing to grow in the way that it is, there's not an awful lot that we can do just now.
No, absolutely. You've been absolutely killing on that front, and the merch does look sick. As Joker said, the hat does look tasty. It does. It suits. Like, your logo is sick. Is it just your signature? Is it literally your signature? Is it a version of your signature plus 27 on it?
It's my signature with a 27 on it. That's literally all it is. I'm kind of gutted though, because so my signature was yellow, and then it was Sophonics that was in the chat. She made like my sub badges and my emotes and that.
Yeah.
And she said that we came up with the color scheme for the sub badges, and she was like, right, I'll need the signature in black, and I was like, right, cool. So I went and photoshopped it, did it in black, and at this point I'd already ordered this hat, and I had this yellow badge one out, and then I saw it in the black, and I was like, I actually low key prefer my logo in black than I do in yellow. And then when I put the merch store live, I put a snapback with the black logo, and one of the color schemes is obviously natural white and then black with the black logo, and I was sat there like, I really wish I had that, because I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with matching colors. Like, my shoe collection is ridiculous. I've got like, I think my shoe collection's worth like
similar kind of like, see the boxes on the side.
Yeah, like I think last time I checked the value of them, I think my shoe collection's at like $3,000 or something like that, with the off-whites and all that, and I'm obsessed with them, and I'm obsessed with trying to look as good as I can and make sure the colors are matching. So then when I realized, like, oh, black and white hoodie, and then I saw the black badge on that black and white hat, I was like, oh, what have I done? I've bought a black and blue one with a yellow badge.
Those are going nicely with your off-whites. Is it a pair of off-white Vans or off-white Converse? Because there was a pair of off-white Vans which came out a while ago. This is completely off topic now.
I'll show you my off-whites.
Oh, feet on stream, easy ban. Oh god, we have two shoe fanatics. No, I've got 19 pairs, but they're not. I have mostly just 8 shoes, to be honest. Not that I really skate any.
No, I won't. I can't find my off-whites.
That's alright, don't worry about it. Right, we should probably get back on topic, to be fair, before we waffle about this.
No, that's very true. That's very true.
I guess that leads on to before I say the last question. Does anyone in the chat have any questions? I want to open up the floor a bit. I'll probably give it like 30 seconds, see if we can open up the floor, which means the thing. So because I want to see if anyone has any questions before I do the. Do you want to say your socials and stuff?
Yeah. So obviously, I think yourself has put them on screen. Twitter, Instagram, all Duncan_H27, and then obviously you've got the Twitch, which is Duncan_H27. Then the website being DuncanH27.com with no underscore, and then the store obviously just being /store on that. We do have a TikTok, so you can follow me on TikTok under Duncan_H27, but TikToks will be coming. They're just in the motions just now. I'm not quite at that stage, but I'm getting a lot of pressure from my followers, because I said that when I hit 100 followers, I would do a TikTok video of me doing a TikTok dance. And they're all very insistent that I do the WAP, which isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen, but they don't shut up about it. They keep telling me that I need to do the WAP, and I'm like, that's not going to happen.
I don't know, it'll never be quite the same as on New Year's doing the American Pie strip for everyone. That was a thing.
Yeah.
TOS.
TOS, yeah.
Like, you stood up and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, I barely remember a lot of that night.
Will Duncan shave his eyebrows like the chat said?
Yeah, I thought we'd moved on from the WAP thing, and then suddenly the chat started talking about shaving my eyebrows
Oh
off.
god,
And
that
no,
takes like 8
I'm
months to a year to like grow back.
yeah, exactly. It's not gonna happen. I remember when I was younger, I used to walk about with an eyebrow slit.
Oh, you complaining about bucket hats and dark fruits?
Oh, don't even. I had an eyebrow slit, and then on the side of my hair, I had like big spiral patterns and all that.
Nice.
I thought I was so cool. But no, the eyebrows are not getting shaved, and if my chat could shut up about the eyebrows getting shaved, that'd be absolutely fantastic. My chat bully me all the. I'll go in other people's chats, like my mate Bween and Big Quins and that. I'll go in their chats, and fair enough, there's the occasional comment of like, "Haha, you're shit." But like the vast majority of it, they're really supportive and they're lovely, and they're like just getting general chat. My chat just bully me 24/7. I got that fed up with it. I made a command that if you do !insult in my chat, it automatically just generates an insult and just pushes it. I just thought, right, I need to give in to this. I just need to accept that this is what my chat is going to do from now on. So
Absolutely. Right, I guess that kind of ties everything up a bit. Does anyone have any quick questions? We do no such thing. They're saying that they don't bully you, and I'm just like, I was there. I know. I know you do.
Yeah. You saw it yourself. Every so often, there's a brief little show of support, but bar that, it's
right. I guess that ties up. So thank you very much for coming on. Is there any last shout outs you want to do, or anything like that?
I'm trying to think. Obviously, us, you know yourself, SJL2112 on Twitch, and my mate, A Wild Fee TTV. Two guys that are very worth a follow, and A Wild Fee, obviously, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And I play on a regular basis with HypedHaggis_, who you can see in the chat, so he's always worth a good shout as well. Bar that, I don't even really have a schedule on Twitch, so I can't even really tell you all when to come and find me live. The only thing that's a guarantee is Tuesdays, because I play The Walking Dead on Tuesdays. Bar that, just come give me a follow if you fancy, have a look at the merch if you fancy, and hopefully the album will be out ASAP. And then, I mean, if you're more than happy to, when the album comes out, I might even be able to come back, do another quick one, do a wee push. But yeah, so just thank you very much for having me, and thank you everyone for the support, and thank you all for coming.
That's exactly what he said. So yeah, thank you very much for all. I appreciate all the follows. So thank you for the follows, the posture check, and the hosts. I appreciate all of it. And I'm gonna call it a stream, I guess. Yeah, thank you very much.
Go on. Peace out. Cheers, guys.